No sound the whole time. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I'll have to start all over again. The stock market bull run is incoming. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. We can't ignore record highs. We can't ignore buying assets known as equities, known as stocks, known as the wealth cycle. That's what you have to remember with stocks. You're going to need them. The richest families in the world, how do they continue to stay rich? Well, they have to make investments. They have to make their money work for them. And once again, since I started this all over, welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it twice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's almost a repeat of the first 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm going to make it happen because once again, thank you so much for being here. Boston Celtics, Mavericks are playing tonight. We have it. I have it sitting here 28-18 after the first quarter. Wow. What a special first quarter that was. The Mavericks were down, came back, and then all of a sudden a little explosion by the Celtics. We'll see how this ends up. But this is exactly how you have to think about this bull run that's coming. It may seem like a bull run. Then it seems like there's profits taking, meaning the stock market comes back down. Then, of course, it comes back up. The bull run has started for the AI that we've talked about all last week because of NVIDIA and the other AI enterprises that are investing, spending, well, they're ultimately going to spend trillions of dollars. But that is along the next year, year and a half. But what we're waiting on is interest rates to be reduced. That's when the bull run will continue. All-time record highs mean bull run to me. Now, let me know what it means to you. But first, make sure you smash that like button so the YouTube gods know that you're in the house. Second, make sure you share the videos. Just share. So then that way, other people who aren't even looking for this information might be saying, hey, what's going on? Why are people watching this? Also, if you still haven't received free stocks from Robinhood and Webull, mostly everybody should know about those companies. Down below in the description, you can get those apps. Get your free stocks from Robinhood, which is one, and get some free fractional shares from Webull. If you deposit to Webull, they give you some more shares. Free shares, that is. So those are the two spots that you can go to. We have one more, but first, let's see who's in the house. I'll do it a second time since my mic was off. Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And I humbly appreciate the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received the notification and saw the trailer. Thank you so much, everybody. Let me know if you've seen it. We got to keep track and make sure, once again, if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. That would be very, very good for us. All right. Jawway J, another investor, is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon that I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. Received notification, saw the trailer, and he gave it a one piece for the like button, just like Javante Davis with the left. Thank you so much, man. Jawway J, for being in the house this evening. Much appreciated. And we did see him in the DR. And Laverne Penix says it's good now. And since he has confirmed, In case you don't know, Laverne Penix and this YouTube street is known as Mr. Cole. He's in the house. So let's get into this bull run stock market situation. Once again, we will have to go with the AI movement. We have to go with all-time record highs on all three indexes. And this is the worst that has happened. Interest rates are the highest in like 30, 40 years. That's the worst you can do. What's going to happen when the interest rates come down? We know what's going to happen. This is not rocket science. This is like free money incoming if you have money to invest. What are you going to invest in? Dividend funds. The reason why I say dividend funds is number one, in my opinion, is simply because one of the reasons is you can lock in higher rates before the bull run. So if there's a stock out here that's getting like 13%, 14%, 15 or 20 or 30, well, 30 is a bit much, but I'm just saying, if you got a high rate of return when the stock goes up, if you buy later, your ROI comes down. But if you buy now and it's 13% or 15%, well, guess what? The stock goes up on appreciation and you get the 15% still, and you're making that money reinvest. That's a beautiful thing, right? You get the best of both worlds. That's one way to do it. Or you can be looking at the stock market. What do I mean by that? Paying attention. CNBC, Market Watch, Financial News Updates, Wall Street Journal. You can see what some of these, or you can go to your Robinhood or Webull app and see what the analysts are saying. Come on. When somebody says, I think Tesla may be $2,600 a share, you got to find out who's saying these kind of things. You got to find out what they talk. What are these analysts talking about? Who are these hedge funds and what are these guys talking about? When somebody says that NVIDIA could possibly be $1,500 a share, you have to start listening to this kind of stuff. Then you have to figure out, why would they say something like that? And then you realize they're like, oh, well, this company's going to buy probably a few $100 million of NVIDIA software, hardware. This company's going to spend another 200. This company's going to spend another 100 million and 50 million. It all adds up to hundreds of millions of dollars that's going into this AI boom. And what are you going to do? Sit on the sidelines? Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. You got to come along for the ride. All right. Stock market bull run is not just going to be AI, because companies have already said, like CMG, they're going to split their stocks. That's Chipotle. They are preparing themselves because they know that when the interest rate comes down to an acceptable level, they will start borrowing to buy back their own shares, because the rate of return can be higher than just 20% or 10%. So let me give you guys an example. If you have $20 million to buy back your shares, and they tell you 3% interest only for 10 years, well, then you can easily buy back your shares of stock, which would increase the price of your stock. And even if your stock moved 3%, you're still good, because your interest only is 3%. But if your stock moves 10 to 15 to 20%, which is in all likelihood in 10 years, then you come out winning like a bandit. See how this works, ladies and gentlemen? So therefore, you need to play with the big boys, because we got a Bamba. All right. Don't let these guys off the hook this time. You have the last bastion before they wipe out the upper middle class. Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he brings his tagline. Good evening, SSN family. And you know what that tagline means? Also, ABMM. If you're new here, that means always be making money. How can you do that? Get your pen, pad, and paper ready. Let's just go to YieldMax ETFs. Let's just start that off. YieldMax ETFs. What should you have? Amazon, Tesla, NVIDIA. How about that? ULTY. How about YMAG? YMAX, the top 7, the magnificent 7. YMAX. All those stocks are yieldmaxetfs.com. How would you like to get 20, 30, 40, 50%? Uh-oh, I shouldn't be saying that. Go to yieldmaxetfs.com. Go see what their rate of returns they're giving. But you need that bull run because it's high risk, high rewards. If somebody tells you they're going to give you 20% or 30% return on your money, that means it's high risk. So you want just what I mentioned, Amazon, NVIDIA. You want something like that, right? Because that's where the money's going to be plowed into. So you will be able to get your high rate of return and appreciation a little bit of the shares because they do things a little bit differently. You're going to have to go study what YieldMax ETF does. YieldMaxETFs.com. Pay out dividends every month. Go check them out. Go find your favorites. JP Morgan is even on there now, which I can't be mad at that because the banks, I think their stocks are going to do very well after this next little bull run that happens. In fact, I think a lot of things are going to do very well. And if you're not in the stock market, you're going to be taking huge L's because you're not going to be able to catch up with your assets and wealth. And what we're trying to build here is you got 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, before the rug is finally pulled on the upper middle class all the way down to the bottom. Only the wealthy will survive. Those that are holding assets. What are those assets? It's not only stocks. Come on now. You can have gold, you can have silver, you can have precious metals, you can have art on the walls, you can have a lot of things. You can have some real estate even. You know how real estate always works. When interest rates go down, real estate skyrockets. And unfortunately, there's over 500 cities now that have homes that sell for $1 million. In just 20 some years, it was in single digits in like 2000. Now it's 500 plus homes. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Yes, Tesla, Curtis Davis. I know it's like what? Robotics. Let's just call it what it is. It's robotics. They are making plans for the robotics. That's what it's all about. Tesla says they can do certain things. They're thinking they're going to be able to come out with the, the master marketer, Elon. So don't hold these guys back. Remember, they're not a car company. They're a technology company. That's the whole thing. They're not really even a car company, nor a truck company, nor anything else. They are a technology company, and they are doing robo-taxis. They have their eyes on the robo-taxis, and they have their eyes on robotics. Who can win that game? I don't know, because that game is wide open, and that part of artificial intelligence, robotics, all those companies, if you can pick 3 or 4, Tesla, only because this is what they've been actually trying to do. There's probably a few other companies as well. But I mean, like there's Waymo that's been testing their vehicles for the last like 5 to 7 years already. But nobody's 100% accident free. Let's call it what it is. Because you're going to have some sort of error just like anything else, right? So robo-taxis and AI are going to boom. And that also triggers other things that's going to happen. There's going to have to be some sort of battery boom. There's going to have to be technology that has to be upgraded. Now, as each year goes by, the odds are that can be handled. But are you going to be able to pick the places now? Pick those companies now? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, you can do it. You just got to study a little bit. Yes, more splits coming like Broadcom. That's right. There goes another one, by the way. Broadcom, Chipotle. See, that's why you need that pen, pad, and paper here. Do your research. Broadcom, Chipotle. Who's in the AI race? Dell. Exactly. Don't let these guys fool you. You study, you find these stocks, and you're sitting there like, well, Eric, why should I do these single stocks? Why don't I just do the S&P 500? Oh, Now we're talking. Some of you would say, well, I don't want to pick individual stocks on the S&P 500. So what do I do? Okay, well, there's VOO. That's Vanguard Group. There's VOOG, SPDR, SPY. You have several opportunities to stick with the S&P. NVIDIA is like 30. Look, the technology, NVIDIA, the AI boom, and a few other stocks, 30% of the stocks have risen up, and that's enough to make all-time highs on the S&P 500. Imagine when the Federal Reserve reduced interest rates. It's more freely borrowing and spending because you can borrow for less now. Now that's even more money that's going to be dumped into this part. And the technology companies, they are going to skyrocket, in my opinion. Make sure you study. Make sure you go do your due diligence. Because once again, it almost seems too easy. But do your own due diligence. Go with the big boys. Go with the big companies. Go with the Apples, the Microsofts, the Dell, the Chipotle, the Broadcom. Go with these guys. But you can go with the ETFs that cover a broader market, maybe give you 1 or 2% dividend. But who cares if it rises up like they're talking about? 10x your money for just NVIDIA. Tesla, they're talking about another 5 to 10x on theirs. Chipotle, another double. I'm like, if this actually happens, the S&P 500 is probably going to be another record sometime in about the next 3 years. Well, it's going to keep doing records is what I'm saying. It's just going to keep going up and up and up because more and more companies who are investing right now, getting the resources, some of these little companies are going to be bought out. That's how this works. All right. So you're going to be right in the thick of it, ladies and gentlemen, right in the thick of it. And by the way, speaking of the thick of it, I'm looking down right now in the second quarter. This looks like 46-31. The Boston Celtics are leading with looking under 7 minutes. That's a 15-point lead. If these guys, the Mavericks, do not get on board with some little run here in the next 7 minutes, if they're down by like 20 points, this thing's almost a wrap. That's 15 points right now. But they have 3-point shooters. But again, let's just put it this way. I'm thinking about creating a channel called D2. All right. Because I used to play hoops. And the thing is, the Mavericks top 8 are not as good as the top 8 for the Celtics. The Celtics have mismatches all over the place. So when you don't have defense, like, for instance, everybody's been picking on Luka about his defense, right? Well, the problem with them is even if the Boston has all their 6, 7, 8 players can play offense and defense. If you have one player that can't play defense, but he plays offense for you, and he likes to go off with shooting on threes, then it's old school basketball should be in effect. And I'm glad to see Boston utilized it. We're not letting you shoot threes. Plain and simple. You can shoot twos all day long. We're just going to make you drive to the basket, play D on you, make you, work hard on offense. Kyrie Irving, he's unstoppable. Just call it what. Just put a guy on him, try and stop him. He might have to score 40. You can't stop him. All right. Everybody else, they're not used to handling the rock all the time. So if we can get out of Luka's hands, then everybody else, Mavericks, they're going to probably be short. Whereas the Celtics, for instance, they've got guys that can play offense. They're 8 deep. Porzingis is a mismatch. He's 7 feet. So they have a mismatch straight out the box. And so now you have Jaylen Brown, and you have Tatum, and you have White. And you have Al Horford, the consummate professional, getting the dirty work, and he hits his threes when he's out there. Now you have a little problem. So I just can't see how, if this thing continues in this pattern, and if these guys get up about 20 to 25, it's probably a wrap. It's probably already a wrap. I told a friend of mine, Kyrie would have to score 55 for the the Mavs to even have a shot. 55 or more in the finals. There's only a few people that's ever done that. So anyhow, we will see how it all goes. Robbie D Solutions is in the house, otherwise known as DJ Robbie D from Philly. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he says his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. Hope all is well. Let's get this knowledge. Thank you so much for that, man. That's what we have to do here. Everybody, come and participate. If you have something to say, put it in the comments section. You don't have to pay here. This is the No Guru Zone. We don't do courses. We don't do any seminars. We don't do anything like that. And I don't do mentoring. You don't have to pay for that. What I do is I'll just tell you how it is. Send me an email at support@stopstrugglingnow.com or join our WhatsApp group, the SSN Nation and Lifestyle, where there's like-minded people. We're talking real estate. We're talking stocks. We're talking DCSR. I think that's it. DCSR. Go look up DCSR. 300% increase this year, and it's a gaming stock courtesy of Mo Better. He's been talking about it for the last 6 months. And it has went in the last 6 months up 200%. And it's only a penny stock. I mean, it's like 20. It was $13. It's now 26, 27 today because they made a new deal. And they're talking about, of course, you know how these companies say we're going to be on the NASDAQ. They're in the over-the-counter market, OTC. So those are the type of things that you look for. And since it's 27, 28 bucks, hey, throw in a few bucks, see what happens. What's a few bucks? 10, 50, 100, 200, 2,000. What is it? The stock is only like 27 cents. So for every, I'll just round down. You can have 4 shares for every dollar. So figure it out, right? 100 shares, 25 bucks, whatever. I mean, come on. It's not that much. Go find out. Maybe get 1,000 shares. I don't know. But the point of the matter is 200, 300% return on your money in a short time span is worth its weight in gold. Are you going to take a risk? Check it out. All right. We'll talk about it shortly. Looks like the Mavs are making a run, so I'm glad to hear this. Glad to see this. I don't know who's scoring or what, but looks like a short little comeback. So it's not going to be over. That's a good thing. All right, Curtis Davis, cyber taxi could take Tesla $2,600 per share, and testing has begun for China EV tax. There you go. America's going to have to block the Chinese EV vehicles. They're being able to be built at a lower price. Maybe not as good, but then again, what is an EV vehicle? In reality, you have a platform for the batteries, and then you're just putting up the metals, making it so people can fit in a car. So that makes it very interesting. So they're going to be blocking. But nonetheless, stuff is going to happen over the next 2 years because people are going to have the money from being able to borrow, being able to use their stocks, and they can advance the technology. I expect big strides in the next 2 to 3 years, especially with the AI situation, because these AIs can figure out calculations 24/7. It's not like people who have to go to sleep 24/7. They can figure out different outcomes, different calculations in order to improve technology. That's how scary this is. It can be like it's 1995 all over again, when all of a sudden one day you woke up and it was like, yeah, we have this RAM and it used to be 200 megabytes. Now all of a sudden it's 500 megabytes of memory. Now we got 1 gigabyte of memory, all within like 3 years. And then for the next 3 to 20 years, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we only can do like 2 terabytes or 4 terabytes. I'm like, they slowed down dramatically, right? Because they realized they were outpacing the usefulness of what people are going to need. So they didn't want to go, because that means they had to invest more money. So now things are about to start going off again like it should have been, like it's 2005. But it's all right. NVIDIA is a sure bet in the long run. Exactly, DJ Robbie D. He's exactly right. There's no way around it. You have to look, if you want to be in the game right now, you're going to have to pay NVIDIA for their hardware and software. Or you can go the route of Apple, because Apple has cash, trillions. So they're going to actually make their own chip, which is very, very smart, because as you guys know, Apple likes to be proprietary. They don't want to share. They don't want to keep it open source. They're like, forget that. It's going to be Apple. And they can restrict it. And Apple has a following built up for the last 30 years. All right. So they know, with the amount of people around the world that have Apple products in their ecosystem, they just need to come up with their own chip, their own AI, and they're off to the races, because they already have automatic buyers in the millions. So that's worth, I don't know how much. And that also should tell you, you should be getting some Apple stock as well. AAPL. It's very simple. AAPL, standard S&P, and you can go to YieldMax ETF and get some APLY. They give out dividends every month. All right. So you'd like a run up from all the way around. And you can do this. If you don't have the money, okay, fine. $50, $25, $100, 300, 500. Nobody's saying 20, 30, 50 G's. All right. We already know right here. Let's get things straight. 70% of the population in the United States lives paycheck to paycheck now. That means the disposable income has to come from where? That means either you have to cut back on expenses, which is very, very hard, and use that money that you normally buy and spend for liabilities. You go, hey, my mindset better change, because in the next 3 years, Eric says it's over for middle class and upper middle class. You're going to have to make over $200,000 just to be comfortable. That is the number, 200,000. I'm giving a set number. All right. So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. All right. It looks like Boston's only up by 9 now. So that means the Mavericks have come back a little bit. They didn't run off to the races. All right. NVIDIA for the long run, NVIDIA for the win. In fact, all the companies that's associated using artificial intelligence and who are spending the money early, they get out the box early before everybody else. Now, that's all the big boys. That's everybody. All the top stocks, that's what they're chasing. You can't let your competitors get a huge advantage. Either you have to do what Apple did, which I love what they did, or you do what other people do. Well, why should we reinvent the wheel when we have millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, that we can just buy this stuff and be in the game? And at the same time, since we have hundreds of millions of dollars, we can also do our own in-house, but at least we don't get left behind. We're still having the leading edge technology. So keep those things in mind, right? That's what you look for as an investor. Eric, exactly. VOO and other S&P 500 index ETFs. Yep. VOO with a G at the end as well. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got more for you. SPDR, SPY, QQQ. Woo. All I'm saying, go for it, ladies and gentlemen. Go do your research. Joe Nay is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline. What's good, E? Hey, man, it's all good in this neighborhood. What's good, SSN fam? I got that notification. I saw the trailer, and I just one piece smashed that like button. Thank you so much for that. And everybody else who hasn't smashed that like button yet, please do so. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. That would be very helpful. YouTube gods need to know that we're in the house. We handling business for you. We're not out here talking crazy. We're not out here saying send us money so we can come to our courses so then you can learn and talk. No, we're telling you, go to WhatsApp. Hold on. Here's our WhatsApp group. Hold on a second. Let me go put this in the chat just in case so people don't know. This is where you go. We're not hard to find. Hey, wait a minute now. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. I don't think I like this one. Let me see. This has the, yeah, here we go. WhatsApp group, SS Nation and Lifestyle. Go there. And speaking of that, I should give a promo because it's not just about stocks. It's about business. We are going to have December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the Dominican Republic. You know what time it is. It's the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. What are we going to do different than normal? Well, here's what's going to happen. You know we're going to see the lawyers. Why? Let's just use an example. Our very first one that we had, we were talking about the comforteur law. And at the time, comforteur meant if I bought a piece of property and let's say it cost $150,000 and it was below $170,000, that means, okay, we're good, 15 years. But if I bought my second property, even though it was comforteur, it was over the 170. So they said, oh, you're going to have to pay tax on that over the 170 for the second property. So you only have comforteur for one. This year, they changed some things. If your property has comforteur, now it does not matter. So now, as long as my property is like any amount, there's no cap. It's like I bought a property for 200 comforteur. We're good for 15 years. Oh, but here's the twist. It's not 15 years. Okay, hold on. It is 15 years. What I'm trying to say is, let's say in 2000, my project had comforteur and I'm doing pre-construction. Let's say it had comforteur from 2000 to 2025. They figured that's when it was delivered. Next year, guess what though? You lost 5 years. You only have 10 years left. So now they changed it to where whenever your project gets its comforteur, that's when the clock starts ticking for the 15 years. So time does matter. So that's why some of these people are like, they don't have comforteur. I'm like, oh, I don't mind if they don't have comforteur. Why? Because now if they had comforteur right now during pre-construction and they're not going to be finished for 2.5 to 3 years, you've lost 2.5, 3 years. That means instead of 15 years of no tax, you have 12. And heaven forbid if it takes 5 or 6 years and now you're down to 10 or 9. That's a huge difference. Now, again, the amount of money is going to move up, but who really wants to pay any tax at all if it's free for 15 years? That's going to come in handy, right? So those are the type of things that you have to think about. And that's why we go see lawyers, because things change. You need to understand the latest, and it's going to move in a developing nation. Banks are going to change up a little bit. Marketing, management, all these things, banks, all are going to change up. So this is why we go see lawyers. So then if you have questions, you never know. Maybe residencies change. Anything could have changed over the last 8 months to a year. You just never know. So that's why we always go see the lawyers and attorneys first. Where do you go get in? $199 per person. That's just to come and hang with us. That doesn't include airfare. That doesn't include your hotel. But it's December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to be handling business. And lawyers are the first day. This next time we go in December, we had a banker come in that has to do with loans. It was not good words. It was not good. I got to admit it. It wasn't good what the guy was saying. When he started saying 10.5% interest, and then he was saying that's for 1 year. And then when he started saying after that, it's an adjustable rate, I was like, what are you saying? And he's like, it could be 12.5 to 13 or 14%. Woo! We don't want them type of loans. Can you imagine owing just $80,000 for delivery and somebody tells you, oh, hey, it's 10.5% for the first year fixed. And then after that, it's 12.5% adjustable. You have to understand 10.5% on 80,000 is over 80,000. That's like $700 per month. HOA is going to cost you $2 or $2.50 per square meter. So if your place is 100 square meters, that's like you're paying $900 a month if you had a loan for $80,000. That's insane when you start really thinking about it. And then come to find out after that, it's going to be 12% at adjustable, where now you're going to be paying $1,000 per month. So now that changes your ROI. So that's why we have to stay atop of this banking situation also. And I'm pretty sure things are going to change in the next 5 or 6 months. Why do I say that? Well, whenever interest rates come down in the United States, then that changes the dynamics across the world. Okay, just keep that in mind. Now, we only have a few seconds left. And sure enough, the Boston Celtics have exploded 61-44 with like 30 seconds left. They're almost up by 20. So they exploded again. They're playing at home. We'll see what happens in the third quarter. But nonetheless, it looks like these guys are going to be up by about 15 to 17 points at least. So this could be over in the second half. Now, Joe Nay, another real estate investor, is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. And so once again, you're in good hands. Let's see what else. We have someone else popping up. James Way's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he says, hello all. Got the notification. Heard the petrodollar just got nuked. Oh, now the rent will really be too damn high. Oh, thank you so much for bringing that up. The rent will really be too damn high. You're right. I told you guys, 3 years, it's a wrap. Upper middle class. You cannot afford to be in middle class. Let's call middle class like 70 grand to 125 grand. You can't be in that class no more. You can't even be in the 125 grand to 200 grand because you will be living paycheck to paycheck too. You will have to be doing things like ungodly amounts, $20,000 per month, $25,000 per month, stuff that most people would only dream of. That is what you're going to have to be bringing home. And the worst part about that is in a progressive tax situation like the United States, the more you're making, the more tax you're going to pay, unless you have businesses. So when you come to the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Real Estate Forum, it's actually called the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. We go see lawyers. You can actually get your LLC and SRL there. And if you missed this last one, you had a little master class on how to do holding company, LLCs, how to transfer title by selling shares or selling your SRL so you don't lose your comfort tour, all kind of things that is more valuable than what it costs you to go. And then we have special deals with our attorneys, and they give you SSN Nation deals, so you don't have to pay people 5, 10 grand, 2,500s for things that would cost you an arm and a leg to do. And then you have the best deals. So once again, okay, it looks like they are up by 20. It looks like this is almost over. This is bad. 20 on the road, fighting for your life, and you're undermanned. So we'll see what happens with the Mavs. The Celtics up by 20, 67-46 at halftime for everybody that's here with the Celtics. And so James Way has it exactly right. The rent is about to get a whole lot higher. I talked about this on the last live stream. If you missed it, it's very simple. The banks, BlackRock, the Vanguards, all these ETFs that you're giving money to in a 401k or maybe even investing in, they are out here giving loans or debt facilities or outright helping companies, Americans for rent homes or whatever they're called. They are giving money so these guys can go out and buy homes. Millions of homes that they are on purpose are going to rent out. Rentals. Corporations, not people, are going to have thousands of rentals in a residential neighborhood. It's already happened. So they're in the buying homes market. which now means as an individual, home prices are going to go up, and you don't have the luxury of somebody saying, hey, we gave you millions of dollars, so here, go buy this house, buy another house, rent that one out, charge people whatever you want, and now we live in this one for free is what they could do, right? If you're an individual. The companies don't care. They're just like, well, we bought up 2,500 homes here. We're just going to raise the rent up. We control the market. Once you control the market, it's almost like a monopoly. So once again, the bull run on real estate's going to happen as well. Don't ignore the record highs. This goes hand in hand. Remember, stocks are a derivative. If you have millions of dollars worth of stock, you can borrow against it. You can borrow against it, and then you can go buy some more assets. Or you can go down to the bank because you have a business, corporation, and say, hey, what type of loans can I get? Because I have these assets. So once again, you have several levers that you can pull without using your own money and getting returns that are going to be ungodly. All right. Now, let's see what else we have going on. I'm going to take a little break here. You guys know what that means. It looks like we have to throw down. Let's go with this one right here.
Come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again for being here on this Monday. Make sure you please smash the like button. Make sure you share the videos. If you like what we're talking about, make sure you share the videos. Now, and subscribe to the channel. Here's what I'm going to do right now. We're going to go to stock market. We're going to go to CNBC. Look at it, all green. It's lit up. Even after market, it's lit. Everybody, the S&P 500 rallies 1% to fresh record high. Woo! Hey, these guys are predicting it to go up to 6,000. That's another 10%. But can you believe by picking certain stocks, individual stocks, again, it's your own investment strategy. VOO, VOOG. Okay, we'll get into some of that. Here it is. NVIDIA to get 20% weighting and billions in investor demand while Apple demoted in major tech fund. I don't really care about Apple being demoted, okay, because they're different. And I like them being demoted, quite frankly, because if you can buy into Apple right now, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, all these guys, Amazon, all these guys, they have the money to invest, all right, sitting offshore. So here's NVIDIA, here's Apple right now, +4. So they got a 1.97 increase. Here's NVIDIA down to 130. Whoever got in at 118, you're lucky, right? But even this right now, 130, this is going to pale to see what happens. If this thing goes up to even 450 or 500, you're going to 3 or 4x in like 2 or 3 years. You're going to be very happy, right? Here's Tesla, a +9 at 187. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You see how this is starting already? Do you see how this is starting already? It's already starting. It's happening. Look at this. Trims at stake in Chinese BYD. Yeah, that's because there's a little situation with them. U.S. sues Adobe over subscription plan disclosures. Okay, that's cute. Now, the most important thing is what James Way said. James Way announced it here, ladies and gentlemen. The petrodollars, the guys over in the Middle East, North Africa, they said, we're not backing the petrodollar anymore. Were they really backing it in the first place? I have to question it. We know it's the petrodollar. But were they really backing the petrodollar? The dollar is only because people believe that it's valued around the world. What's it really backed by? Nothing. Thin air. Even with it being a petrodollar, the agreement was it's backed by oil. But if it's not backed by oil anymore, then what? Was it really backed by oil? No, it wasn't. What it was backed by is any transactions for the oil had to be in US dollars. So that meant the US dollar had to be the standard. People had to use it. So if I had rubles, I got to use it. If I had lira, I had to use it, right? If I have what's some others? Pesos, I had to use it. If you're not on the dollar for the transaction for the oil now, that means other currencies can take over, and it's very smart because they're part of BRICS. So now you may understand why a certain company or country would think in their brains, hey, man, we better come up with something other than real utilizing oil. So now you understand the urgency for trying to put forth EV, electric, solar, hydrogen, anything but oil. Now maybe you understand, because this situation could have come up at any time. And apparently it's come up. The chickens are coming home to roost, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of the middle class wipeout. You're seeing it right before your very eyes. It's going down. And inflation is going to kick up because the dollar's not backed by anything. They're going to print up more money. It's not backed by anything other than debt. That is the capitalist system, backed by debt. All right. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's go. NVIDIA gets 20% weighting and billions of investor on them. Okay, let's go to this right here because people do not understand what this NVIDIA situation is. Microsoft and NVIDIA will likely have a weight of around 21% in this tech ETF, while Apple will be down to about 4.5. Who cares? According to the head of SPDR. Hey, I said something about them. Okay, the ETF has about 71 billion in assets under management, so a 15 percentage point change in the fund equates to more than 10 billion. You see what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen? When you have the big money, 15%, $10 billion. There it is. Hey, you know what? This is what we do here. While we're doing this, we put in the chat room. So you guys can go check, just go do your own research. You're going to be very, very happy. Very ecstatic. Uh-oh, what's happening? Wait, we have a problem. Okay, wait. Here we go again. These guys know what happens when we start talking about stocks. We start talking about things. We start having little problems. Just us. Wonder why. All right, so I was going to put a link in the chat room, but I'm having a little problem. So if I get disconnected, I will be right back. Don't worry about that. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play this video maybe. Let's see if it lets me play something. Looks like it doesn't. That's not good. That's not good. All right. And you know, thank you so much for waiting. I knew this was going to happen. Whenever we start talking about stocks and UMAX ETFs and doing all this stuff, um, in fact, I got to bring up something. The petrodollar agreement end. Yeah, the rest of the world's tired of being punked. Let's just call it what it is. Okay, reports of petrodollar systems demise are fake news. Here's why. Oh, okay. Hold on in a second. The petrodollar is dead, and that's a big deal. Okay, hold on now. What is this Market Watch doing here? They're saying it's demise or fake news. What do they mean, fake news? Okay, story about the collapse of long-standing agreement between the U.S. and but the agreement never existed. Aha! That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I see where they're going with this now. Exactly. Exactly what I was saying. If I didn't, if you guys heard what I was talking about the so-called petrodollar, is there is dollars for oil. That was the actual agreement. It was never really back. All right. It seemed like big news, and many wonder why mainstream media seemingly ignored it. Turns out there was very good reason. Reports circulating a 50-year-old agreement between U.S. and Saudi Arabia requiring that the latter prices crude oil collapse of the accord would inevitably deal a fatal blow to the U.S. dollar status, the de facto globe world currency. All right. Almost immediately, petrodollar spiked since 2004. Fake news story. Okay. But as speculation about the U.S. global intensified, several Wall Street foreign emerged to point out a fatal flaw in this light. The agreement itself never existed. At least not in the way it's described in the post that gone viral on social media. This is what I was just saying. I was saying, was it really an agreement? It was just like you had to change the oil to dollars. That's all it was. There was no real, but you have to have oil. If you don't use oil, there's no exchange of dollars. It's pretty simple, right? So, fake news. There was an agreement signed June 1974, but it had to but it had nothing to do with currencies because the Saudis carried on selling in sterling after that. I knew that was going to pop up, but it's all right. All right, here we go. In fact, let's see if I can get back in here once again. I'm going to put this in the chat room so everybody can go read it. But the point I'm trying to make is the United States fell out. Oh, here we go again. Okay, I see we have an issue. Okay, how cute. I guess I'm going to get blocked again. Fascinating. All right, I'm back again. You guys know, in case you're new here, this is what happens when we start talking about some stocks for some strange reason. I put it in the chat room where you can actually go find out about the petrodollar because basically the United States and the Saudis never really had the pseudo agreement, but the United States had that. Like I said, the real deal was they actually had to change it in US dollars. That's what the agreement kind of was. I don't know if they're going to say this, but that's literally what it was. Otherwise, the United States would have never had dominance for world currency. Would have made no sense. That was one of the ways it happened after they said, we're going to get off the gold standard. And so that's the only way you can have it backed by what? Pseudo agreement with the Saudis. Oil, because you needed oil. And then now, this is going to be very, very interesting. Well, just keep in mind, the US dollars, I believe it's around 86% of currencies in the world, naturally. But again, a lot of countries don't even want the US dollar. So here we go. I don't have it. Let me put it on screen. Let's put it on screen so you guys can see this yourself. Let's just get this on screen. Because here's the, I wish they would just get to the points. But of course, they have to make you read it. So here's where it is. Okay. To debunk the conspiracy theories, a formal agreement demanding that Saudi Arabia price its crude oil in dollars never existed. Rather, Saudi Arabia continued accepting other currencies, most notably the British pound, for its oil, even after the 1974 agreement on joint economic cooperation was struck. Here it is. It wasn't until later that year that the kingdom stopped accepting the pound as payment. So there we go. So perhaps the closest thing to a petrodollar deal was a secret agreement between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia reached in 1974, which promised military aid and equipment exchange for the kingdom investing billions of dollars of oil sales. U.S. treasuries, Donovan said. The existence of this agreement wasn't revealed until 2016, which we already knew that too. That's the reason why we had to have military over there, protect the oil. Let's get real. And they exchange the dollars for oil. For everybody else, notation protector largely grew organically from a place of mutual benefit rather than some shadowy agreement established by secret cabal of it was not a secret. Come on. Remains a matter of indisputable fact. All right. As far back as the 1970s. Of course, that's what we were talking about. 1972. That's when it happened. Come on, stop playing. Rewriting history here. Stop playing. All right. So you guys can read all about it. You can understand what's going to happen here. Inflation will go up. Simple. Or prices are going to go up. Either way you slice it. Whatever you want to call inflation these days. Price gouging is one. Inflation is another. It's going to be bad. James Way is exactly right. Everybody else, strap up because you're about to have to go on the money train. You have to go with money. You have to go with buying assets. There's just no way around it. Stock market bull run is going to be a great help. That's why you have to be into it. Real estate will be a great help. That's why you have to be into it. Starting a business in a high tourist location or a location that's getting billions of dollars of infrastructure built in, that's a smart move. Where are these places happening? Well, Dominican Republic. All right. If you missed the Dominican Republic Weekly, the latest airport, the international airport at Cabo Rojo, that's going to be built. That's, I believe, their 8th international airport. Now, what do they need? They need 2 other things to happen. They need another airport like in the interior, which is not built yet, or they need interior flights. They need the short hops. You land at Santo Domingo. You land at Cabo Rojo. You land at Punta Cana. You land at Santiago. You land at these airports at Cebo. You land at these airports. You need these little junkets that says, okay, I'm here. Now, how do I get to Punta Cana? How do I get to Santo Domingo? How do I get down to Cabo Rojo? When they start doing that, that little infrastructure, now people come from all over. And now if I can get on a plane and I can be somewhere in an hour and a half, that means people are going to jump. And especially if you say it's $75 to $100, like it should be. Right? People are going to say, man, we're going to hang out here for 7-8 days. Then we're going to go over to the other part and to the mountains at Arabacoa. Why wouldn't you do that? Especially if the flights are cheap and you can leave from that destination back internationally. That changes the whole landscape. That means that island is going to be very valuable. The property values are going to increase as well. It's going to be like St. Bart, St. Kitts or something like that. I mean, the prices are going to be ridiculous, where just ordinary units are $5 million. It's going to cost you a lot of money to attain real estate. And I don't think it's going to grow that fast as well. I think there's going to be a slowdown because the value is high and only certain amount of people are going to be able to buy on the island and finance, or you have to have the money. So where do you get the money from? Real estate investing, stock market investing, everything we talk about every Monday, right? And you have ways to do it. You now have a bull run that's about to occur. They will reduce the interest rate for the Federal Reserve. They will do that sometime this year. There will need. So there will be one. And Mo Better is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline. What's up, SSN fam? What's up, E? Hey, man, it's all going good. I've been enjoying Santo Domingo. Hope all is well with everyone. That Santo Domingo property, man, that you mentioned. You never told me the name, but I'm glad you're in the house because I was talking about was it DRCR? DCR, no, DRCR. I was talking about it. SSN Nation approved, Mo Better. And I told him we shocking people with that. Hey, that stock has been going up and people keep knowing about it. I keep talking about it. But here we are. Oh, here it is. DRCR stock looking really good with more room to grow. A lot of room to grow. Remember, their high over the last 52 weeks is 35 cents. So the fact that they're adding all these new value to the stock, it should get back to 35 over 35 cents. And quite frankly, so 20 to 30 more % move is easily should happen. So I have to admit, Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he is known in this YouTube street as Mr. Dividend. He's back. And he says, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it is. Hello, SSN family. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate it. And he says also, did he say I also smashed that like button? He did a one piece. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate everybody else who's here and who sees this, even after in the replay. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about, because you can come back on Wednesday and Friday nights and come hang with us, because you never know what information you will get, and bring your pen, pad, and paper. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with 9 minutes left. It looks like Boston's about to run away with this, as expected. 78 to 52 with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. These guys are up by 20. Is that 26? There would have to be an epic collapse. It'd have to be something that's never been done before in order for the Mavs to come back and win this game. And again, the matchups are not in their favor unless Porzingis is hurt and unless Kyrie starts going off. He's going to have to, I told my friends, he's got to score 55 or more for them to win. But I don't see how that's going to happen, because these guys, the Mavs, don't really have firepower like this. Kyrie and Luka, firepower. After that, they have some other nice pieces, but it's not like Boston. Boston has like 7-8 guys that two-way players, play D and offense. So that's a little problem. But nonetheless, let's move along. We're not basketball hoops unless I do the channel D2 like I should. That's for Division 2, by the way. All right. That's D2. All right. Brian P. says, I got the notification and saw the videos. Thank you so much. That's only 3 people tonight, but nonetheless, I'll take it. We got paid for ULTY. That's right. We got paid today for ULTY, which I'm not holding ULTY. He is. We're talking about YMAG, YMAX. YMAX is the top 7. That's the Amazons. That's the Facebook. That's the NVIDIA. That's the Microsoft. It's the top 7. You got to get the YMAG, man. Right? That's what we got to get, the YMAG. Oh, that's YieldMax ETFs, by the way. All right. That's a YieldMax ETF as well. Go check them out. Go check them out. We are making money in here, says Brian P. Exactly. And our news. Let's see. Let's see what's happening here. with Mo Better. Mo Better. I have over 500,000 shares of DRCR. 500,000. That's 500,000. 500,000. That is awesome. Just like 10 cents. Gotta love that, ladies and gentlemen. He was buying when it was like 10 cents, 8 cents, whatever the cents was. So Mo Better has picked up very, very well. I like to hear that, Mo Better. And he was telling people about it starting like 3-4 months back. So everybody had an opportunity, including myself, and we didn't dive in. But we're diving in. Okay. It's on the over-the-counter market, by the way, OTC. So you got to have an account that allows OTC, whether that's Fidelity, Schwab, a few others, right? So it will dollar land easily, in my opinion, with all their new catalysts. Yeah, he's right. They do have some catalysts. I'm not optimistic as he is, but the movement for what they're doing, it should rise, because the fact is it was 27 cents. So here's the thing. Even if it moved up to 50 cents, that's like double, right? That would be a win in itself. If it went to $1, which would be 4 times, that would be astronomical. That would be so awesome, right? But Mo Better's been taking no prisoners by getting that stock. Been buying since 4 cents, and I will continue to buy. Yep, I can't blame you. You're sitting pretty right now. Great job. Great job, Mo Better. Great job, man. And he's been sharing that information here, by the way. All right. And in the SSN Nation and Lifestyle Group, shared again when it was only 14 cents, by the way. Okay. And on live streams. So again, it wasn't like he was being quiet. He was helping. That's what we do here. So Mo was actually talking about it. Yep, exactly. Brian, thanks, bro. Exactly. Right place, right time. He believed, he invested. He's been telling people about it, and he's buying more. And it's rising dramatically. Dramatically. All right. What's this one? EINC. I'm not familiar with this. Is this a stock? I've never heard of EINC, but we'll check it. Van Eck Energy Income Fund. Well, it's at its all-time record high almost. 79.05, 52-week highs, 61. It's at $76.63. As you know, I'm a proponent of energy stocks because there's no way energy goes down. So this is not a shock. EINC, if that's the one you're talking about, that's an ETF. They paid 91 cents today. That's okay. It's $76. So I don't know if it's 91 cents every 3 months, 91 cents a month, but either way, it's an energy stock. So I'm bullish on energy stuff over time. So even just in this last year, it's 6 months, it's 12%. So I'm not familiar with Van Eck Energy Income ETF, but everybody can do their research. 91 cents dividend. We don't mind that. We don't mind that at all. Okay, let's see here. William Donaldson, Wall Street power broker who led the SEC, dies. Okay. That's pretty much it with the stock markets, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be in the game. Can't sit on the sidelines at this point. This is like, I don't even know how to describe this. This is going to be something that's going to be unprecedented. I've been telling people for all this year, you're going to run out of runway. You're going to have to make more money and take risk. Let's see what he's saying here. ENIC. Okay. ENIC. All right. Okay, let's go see what ENIC is. Let's go see. Hey, wait, this is Chile. What is that? Is this some sort of This is ENIC, $2.72. But what is it? Is this oil? Nope, doesn't say really. Green power. It's some sort of power. Is this an electric company? Okay, let's see what Google says. Based on analysts, Chili's 12-month average target is $4.40. 57.71% upside potential based on analysts. Has a consensus rating moderate buy. Is based on 1 buy ratings. 0 hold ratings. Okay, that's not. They pay dividends twice a year. Our premium tools with 30% accuracy. That's not a good prediction rate. Okay. Well, that looks like energy company. That also looks like we have to study, see what it is. No, it says they only do dividends twice a year, but let's just say it's $1. Let's say it's 91 cents each time. Well, that's one hell of a, that's interesting. Where are we at here? Year over year, 5 years, down 43%. Gonna have to do more than take a look and see what's going on, because they were way, way down. Net profit up 17, earnings per share, net income. Yeah, I have to do a little more research on that. It could be a winner, maybe not. ENIC, my bad, no problem. All right, the name of the project is Uptown. Oh, it is Uptown District, Sunset Suites, I believe. Okay, I knew it was called District something. I got to do more homework on it because I'm not crazy about their contract, which I can always negotiate. But right now, my mind is back on Punta Cana. I'll be in Los Corrales Wednesday. Yeah, Mo, it's getting kind of tight, man. Quite frankly, things are starting to get priced up there. I mean, that studio unit that's going to be at Oasis Lake, they just told me something that's incredible. I don't know if it's for real. I haven't seen any actual hard evidence, but they're talking about $250,000 is what the 210 penthouse or third floor of the unit is going to be selling for at Oasis Lake at the end of this month, 2 weeks. So let's say July 1st or 5th or whatever, that's what they, I was like, what? 40G increase with a 20-40-40 plan? Poof, man, $100,000 with a 24-month payment plan. I'm like, what are we talking about here? That's 4 G's a month. If we do 24 months, that's 4166. And you got to put down 50K. 50K, pay 4,100 a month. That's pretty pricey to me. All right, so might have to take my talents to Vista Cana. Hey, that's about the last. I mean, there's not much left, man. The Seven Palms 1 bedroom is 145, and that doesn't even include furniture. I mean, white line. I mean, you still got to buy your fridge, your stove, your range, your hood, AC units. That's probably another 20 G's now, 25 G's. Well, in 2 years, it's definitely 25 G's. So that's really 175. You go out to Oasis Bay, they have their 1 bedrooms for 170, fully furnished. So now the real deal is going to be Oasis, Noval, your favorite guys, when they put something at Cana Rock, they're going to have 1,000 units. You guys know right now, that's going to be like probably, if they do what they normally do, that means they're going to have 100. I would say 1 bedroom units are probably going to be like 149. 2 bedrooms are going to be like $199. And then after that, it's off to the races. They sell so fast. So if they do their normal pricing, that's going to be the last time you're going to be able to get these type of prices. And I don't even know if that's going to be the price. They could come in at $170 for a 1 bedroom and $225 for a 2 bedroom to start it off. And now you're going to be at the 20-40-40 plan. That's what they're doing. So you're in the same boat. You're going to be spending $3,500 to $4,000 per month. So it's almost over. Yeah, Noval is what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, that's my point, Mo. That's my point. This is the problem that's coming up. This is why all the real estate had to it's slowing down. The pre-construction. Because as you know, we're talking about inside Seven Palms. They have across the street from the second man-made beach, $250,000 for their penthouse unit. Even if you said, okay, I want the 10, the one plan, it doesn't even matter. That plan's done. 20-40-40. You're at $4,000 a month because you've spent $250,000. So there's no way around it. Everything's going to cost $200 for a 2 bedroom, and a 1 bedroom is going to be in the $150 and over at a decent project. Sure, I can always go buy a 1 bedroom at a condo with a pool and a fitness center, right? And maybe get one for $99,000 or something. But getting one inside Vista Cana, getting one at Cana Rock, getting one downtown with amenities, it's a wrap. It's almost over. Even at $175,000, when you start doing the mathematical equations, you start going, okay, $175,000. And you say, oh, I got lucky enough to get a 2 bedroom inside Vista Cana, $175. Okay, fine. But when you go 40%, 0.4, that's 70 G's. So even if somebody had 30 months left, you're still at $2,300 per month. That's what somebody's going to have to pay. And put down $35,000. So this is where we're at right now. This is getting crazy. Not $35,000 though, $175. Oh yeah, you are going to have to put down $35,000 and pay $2,333 for 30 months. And if it's less than 30 months, then that payment's higher. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, your favorite, Noval. In fact, something should be coming up. I got to hit him up because it's the end of July. Because the first one's in, you guys need to know about Oasis Bay and the one that Noval's going to do. They're across the street from each other. But Noval said they're going to have 1,000 units. 1,000. That means, well, we already know they're going to have a mini mart. That means they might have their little sports thing. I mean, who knows? But they're going to add something there. But I think the prices are going to be commensurate with the going rate. I'm expecting 1 bedrooms to be like $160, $170. I'm expecting 2 bedrooms to be in the $2s. That's what I'm expecting. It's almost over, ladies and gentlemen. There's a big time slowdown, but they include furniture. That's major. So now $170 for a 1 bedroom, including furniture, you're good. You go a 2 bedroom for $225, including the furniture and the AC and everything, the kitchen and everything. Now you're like, oh, okay, $30,000, fine. I don't have to pay that. So I really bought it for $195, But this thing about buying stuff for $170 unfurnished, $220 unfurnished, that kind of stuff, that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're at. Noval, exactly. No increase in prices, ladies and gentlemen. No increase clause, furnished with the white line. Exactly. It's more than the white line. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's furnished and the white line. Exactly. It's fully furnished. You roll in. It's a beautiful thing. All right. They will blow the competition away just with those extras. Exactly. That's the thing. Just like Oasis Bay that Vivanti is doing, They have the mini mart, they have the fitness, they have the co-working spaces, they have this some sort of fitness room. The same thing, except Noval has about, I'd say, at least 5 times the amount of land. So they have that whole thing almost from the guard shack all the way down, is what they're saying. All the way down to the turn where Oasis Bay is. Crazy land. But it's out by the back wall, basically. But who cares? If you got a mini mart and you got a sports complex and you got pools and you got a fitness room and you've got some other amenities like Noval usually has at their complexes, you're good. And even if it's at Connor Rock, I'm really good, especially if they have the mini mart. That's all I cared about at Connor Rock. That's one of the things. No shopping area, no mini mart, all that. If they put shopping commercial zone, which they say they're going to have a little commercial area, that changes the whole game. And if I live at that spot, it's gated. Everybody else who stays at Connor Rock and just on the golf course, and they have nothing but a restaurant and a pool and maybe a fitness center, then who cares? But that place is going to increase in value. So that's what we'll find out. Brian P. Hey, Eric, have you ever heard of Energy Transfer LP? Yes. 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 Why do you ask? I got no problems with them. None. Zero problems with that company. Zero problems. Zero problems. I'll show you right now. Zero problems. Zero. This is their 1 year, and this is the 5 year. Zero problems. I like this company, quite frankly. I like these guys. I like them. I like them. I like them. ET submits HSR Act filing in connection with WTG acquisition 6 hours ago. Yeah, I like this stock right here, and it's priced right still. Still priced right. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 8.29% dividend, and it's an energy stock. Straight up energy play. Check this out. Check out the subsidiaries. Check out subsidiaries. Brian P., Mr. Dividend, bringing in some heat. Look at this. Look at this. Energy Transfer, Crestwood, SEM Group, Energy Transfer, Regency, Southeast, L&L, Crestwood. Yeah, and now the new one. I like that you mentioned this because this would be a great one to get involved with. At this price point too, it's almost at the 52-week high, but it's still got you an 8.29% with an energy company. Energy companies always get to increase their rates. So if you can get this high of a yield, why wouldn't you take it? Why wouldn't you take it, ladies and gentlemen? 8.29% with an upside. Always an upside. You buy at that price. So that's going to be pretty sweet, right? So once again, Brian P. dropping some gems, dropping a gem. I was thinking about buying some. That's a good thought, man. I have no problem with Energy Transfer. I don't own any of it. I used to, like 4 or 5 years back. It went up. Look, let me show. It did something. Here we go. 2020. There it is. And as soon as it got up to around 10, I pulled the eject button. So doubles the money. I'm not greedy, but that dividend was awfully nice. 8.29 was a little higher back in the day too, but nonetheless, the price was a little lower. Everything, but I like it. I like it. I like it. And yeah, I would say SSN Nation approved. Because even then, back then, I said the same thing I'm going to say now. They're going to keep growing. They have the revenues. So just now they got a new acquisition. No surprise. No surprise whatsoever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. It looks like it's over. It looks like it's over. Going to the fourth quarter, it looks like these guys are up 20. No. They're up 19. Is that 19? 86 to 67. So it's not over yet. They can still make a comeback. They're only up 19. If somebody gets hot or get loose, well, let's see who's the somebody going to be. It would have to be Luka or it has to be Kyrie. They don't have enough firepower, I don't think. And that also means they have to play D on the other side because everybody on the floor for Boston can score. It's going to be a long road. They're going to have to do something, break records. They're going to have to do something superhuman here for these guys to make this happen. Jason Tatum has a double-double. All right. So we will see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to wrap this up tonight. I didn't want to be on here too long because, once again, stock market bull run speaks for itself. It's already started. Don't ignore the record highs. A lot of people say, I don't want to buy at all-time highs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those situations where you have to be in the market. And even if you wait a few years, it will rise. That's the way it works because of inflation and price gouging, and inflation is going to continue because more money is going to be printed. That's just how it works all around the world. International Monetary Fund, the banks from in Germany and the EU, they're printing. Every country is printing. So therefore, there's more money in the money supply. Now it's all about exchange. And since the US dollar is roughly 80, I believe it's 85, 86% of the currency in the world, that means any trade in adds more currency. That increases, it puffs you up. You have more money to spend, more money to borrow. I don't know if that's going to happen, but all I'm saying is this is going to be a bull run and you should not ignore it. And you should put yourself in position. You don't have to do individual stocks. Just pick. There's several things you can do. Go to ETFs. That's an option. But think about energy. Think about robotics. Think about the future. AI, obviously. But AI isn't a simple thing as AI. It has to be chips. It has to be software, hardware. So you can pick companies that does that, and they'll come along for the ride. So you have plenty of opportunities here. We talked about the robo-taxis, cyber taxis, whatever you want to call them, right? Robots, obviously, AI. And then there's going to be offshoots, which is going to improve the robo-taxis. They're going to improve the robots. It's going to improve your home systems, car systems. Everything you do is going to be improved, right? Improved. So just keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up this evening. It's short and sweet. I want to thank everybody for being here. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Share with your friends. Come back and join us on Wednesday night. Now, Wednesday night, you saw a lot of people with the icon next to their name. On Wednesday night, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody can watch. Everybody can share the video. But on Wednesday night, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. So just keep that in mind. And if you want to check out any of the properties, you can go to ssnlifestyle.com. I have Atlanta up there, and it's a no-vol property. There's only a few units left. A 2-bedroom unit is $300,000. And when you start looking at that type of number, you have to start going, well, wait a minute. I think I can go there and maybe buy something for that if you want to buy something. Or if you want to go the route of pre-construction, well, they started building or started moving dirt, getting some ditches down, and brought in their own cement mixers and things like that to reduce their costs somewhat, they started clearing. And that's great. And you still have 30 some months. You can do a 36 months being in like the third phase. And again, it's a 20-40-40 plan, but hey, you could have bought it at like 190 or something like that. Now they're 3 something. This is what's going to happen on their next project at Conarock. So stay tuned, because their units are a little bit extra big. They're usually 1,500 square feet. So if they do that same type of thing out at Conarock, then their units, if they do sell them for 190 to 225, the same thing's going to happen. The value is going to go up. That's just the way it's going to be. All right, just letting you guys know. Get your minds right. Start thinking. What are you going to do? Start thinking about what you can do. You can have plenty of opportunities, but all those the opportunities you have now, you will not have 2 years from now. All right, you're going to have opportunity all the time in a capitalist system, but it's a lot better if you can buy things at a lower price, and things could be double in 2 to 3 years. And some things are going to be more than double with regards to stocks, but real estate should be double as well. And so it's going to be off the charts what's going to happen for the ordinary citizens. All right, let's go. Brian P says, hey, Eric, did you see the email about the recall on the water? No, I did not. I haven't checked my emails yet today. I was doing some other stuff, doing the Dominican Republic weekly, doing some other little side deals that I've had to deal with. We had some people buy over at the Oasis Lake. And, of course, they got the right unit, the top unit that can sleep 4. I got some other news that I can't really release yet about one of the companies that they're going to have, but that they're in talks with. And I said, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. If it ain't Marriott and ain't Hilton, don't do it. I mean, if it's not some upscale or somewhat upper branding, I'm like, forget about it. Why waste time? So just a little annoyed by that. But nonetheless, right location, everything. Perfect. Brian P, he sent me something, and we always like to look at it. So let me see what this looks like. Where's this? Poisoned. Huh. Okay, I got the poison one. Let's see if I have another one. Man. And by the way, thank you for that. Happy Father's Day. And hopefully everybody had a wonderful Father's Day. You guys know how things are. Okay, I don't have that one. I have poison. That's all the one I had. I don't see anything else, but maybe because who knows? Maybe I'm full. I might be full. Yeah, that's not going to be good if I'm full. Come on now. Yeah, I think I'm full. I think that's why I might not be able to. Yeah, I am. My email's 100% full. That's not good. Okay. Let's go see here. Hopefully. Oh, drinking water. Oh, don't even. You were dying. Jury awards. Okay, you felt like you were poisoned and you were dying. Nevada jury awards over $3 billion in damages against the real water. What the frick? $3 billion. 8 Las Vegas residents who suffered from sudden onset liver failure after consuming the recalled and discontinued real water brand drinking water. Whoa. Toxic chemical known as hydrazine. What? This is crazy. Wow. The children involved range from 7 months to 5 years. Children's hospital treatment, which was a result of drinking real water in the fall of 2020. Holy smokes. Wow. Man, this is crazy. That's bad. This is what we could be dealing with here in the future, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we could be dealing with. Yup. Man, that's crazy. Curtis Davis, real estate will be fire when rates drop. Exactly. It's going to be, look, no matter what anybody says, it's not going to be good. Here's because bottom line is if homes are 400 or 500,000, when the rates reduce, we're talking about $700,000, $800,000. And you literally have to make $200,000. I mean, that's just the way it is. Your household income is going to have to be $200,000. And so the more homes that reach that 750, 800, which is going to happen, the less people can afford it. And so unfortunately, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. The older a home is, the more it costs for maintenance and upkeep. So it's a catch-22. And because of the way they build homes, I always suggest semi-custom at a minimum to upscale. This is why, just like pre-construction, you try to do a little better than just the bare minimum. You want a little upscale if you can get it. Noval, traditionally a little upscale when they build in a certain environment. So we will see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys very much. I'm going to wrap this up this evening. I want to thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciated with your time, energy, effort. And don't forget, go to SSN Lifestyle. Join us in December. Register now. The first 5 tickets are going to be $199. After that, tickets start going up $50 every increase of about the next increase, I believe, is at like 4. And then after that, then it's going to end up being around 300 this time in December, because we're going to actually do a little bit more than we have done in the past. So just make sure, if you want to come to the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, please join us. Sign up early. Your hotel you can get your Airbnb. It does not really matter. But just make sure you get there, and then we'll provide you with people that can help you out and go around and do some things. So it's going to be spectacular fun. All right. Now, with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And believe me, I wish I didn't have to say this, but it's going to get a whole lot harder. The prices are going to go up dramatically. And I'm not just saying, it does not matter who is running the country, it's going to rise because there is no choice. We have been printing money for the last 8 years. All right. We've added trillions of dollars to the deficit. All right. Nearly 25% was added between 2017 and 2021. 2021 till present has been billions. So once again, how's it going to be paid back? Well, right now, paid back from being taxed. The wealthy people are getting taxed more. In the future, if we go a route of a tax cut, then that means we are going in reverse. That means more money coming out of your pockets to pay for those tax cuts. And that also means more inflation, because when they reduce the interest rates, there's going to be more people borrowing money that have money or have assets. So that's going to add money to the money supply. So once again, it's a catch-22. So put yourself in an overseas environment, overseas business, and have business in the U.S., and go off to the races, buy assets. And with all that said, make sure you stay safe out here. You just never know what somebody's going through. There's a lot of, people going through it. So make sure you keep a level head and try to stay out of trouble. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.